Now from WPTV, this is News Channel 5 at 5:30.
Tonight I am calling on Congress to finally close the deadly loopholes that have allowed MS-13 and other criminal gangs to break into our country.
Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says President Trump's comments are well-founded.
It's an everyday effort that we will go after the gangs that are in Palm Beach County.
He has strong words about why you should care about MS-13 operating here in our communities.
WPTV News Channel 5's Tori Dunnan is live with this exclusive interview. Tori.
Jay and Shannon, the sheriff calls this local gang activity organized crime, and he says he is always looking for more resources to fight it. The sheriff acknowledges that people are oftentimes fearful to report any type of gang activity for fear of retaliation. He says there are ways, though, that you can do it anonymously. He says there's an app they have. You can also report it to the gang unit as well. Meantime, he says everyone in their neighborhoods should be looking for gang symbols or any unusual activity. We're live, Tori Dunnan, WPTV News Channel 5.
A little warmer across South Florida tonight. I'll let you know what that front means for your weekend plans coming up.
Steve, thank you. We have some breaking news coming in out of Palm Beach County where authorities have just made an arrest in the murder of a man in unincorporated Lake Worth. Deputies arrested 18-year-old Zachary Curtin on what would have been the victim's birthday. Deputies have not specified just what led to the murder, but Curtin is also facing robbery charges in this case. Besides the second-degree murder charges, Curtin will appear in court tomorrow.
A serial car burglar is in custody tonight who may be responsible for up to 100 crimes. Martin County deputies tracked him down from the ground to the air. News Channel 5's John Shaman has our story tonight from Stuart.
The sheriff telling me today this is just a simple case of remembering to lock your car doors. In Stuart, John Shaman, WPTV, News Channel 5.
I'm Michael Williams at the live desk with new information. FEMA will continue providing aid to Puerto Rico. Florida U.S. Senator Bill Nelson called the decision, the initial one, to stop relief efforts disastrous, saying he was shocked by that decision. Well, after mounting pressure from lawmakers, the agency reversed its decision to stop delivering food and water. It'll go on. Jay?
Michael, thank you. Breaking news right now. A school bus in St. Lucie County has been involved in an accident and students were on board. Authorities say, though, no one was injured. We don't know the extent of the accident. All we know now is that the bus was rear-ended. We're making calls. As soon as we get new information, we'll bring it to you both on air and online at WPTV.com.
You have anything you want to say to the parents that send their kids here?
A Polk County gymnastics coach handcuffed and headed to jail. Deputies say the 21-year-old gymnastics coach uploaded child pornography of children ages 3 to 12. They don't believe any of it included local children, but they are investigating that. Alexander Kachalov worked with children between the ages of 3 and 15 and provided private lessons.
But if a child's ever come home and said that he or she was inappropriately touched, we want to know about that.
The investigation is ongoing with more charges pending. Tonight, deputies are urging parents that they talk to their children.
A woman tied up in her home while men ransacked it. Tonight, police are searching for those two armed robbers on the run. This happened overnight in Lantana in the Gateway Arms community. Police say the victim woke up to find the men in her home. They tied her up and then left her on the floor while they searched her house. And get this, a child was also at the home at the time. Police haven't said if this was random or targeted.
We are ground zero in the opioid crisis, the impact our local task force is having now in the battle against the deadly drug addiction.
Worries over the flu spreading almost as fast as the virus. Now one Florida daycare fights back to keep kids germ-free.
This is News Channel 5 at 5:30. Thanks for making WPTV your #1 most trusted news source.
The flu virus is spreading, and now one Florida daycare has taken some steps to try to fight back. With 600 new cases in Lee County just in the last week, the owner of One Children's Center is purchasing a germ fogger.
So if there is some weird outbreak of anything, we can set the foggers off. They go all night long. No matter how much we bleach and Lysol and everything. These are little guys, and they don't always cover their cough, and they don't always cover their sneeze.
The owners here say they're trying to combat the virus before it can spread.
Well, even a little bit of screen time can hurt your child's brain. 24% of parents report putting their child in front of a screen to give themselves a break. According to a study by Brain Balance Achievement Centers, more than 2 hours of screen time per day can cause a child's brain to shrink and lose volume, potentially causing a brain imbalance. The study also shows too much time spent on a device can make it hard for children to concentrate or make new friends. Well, if you think you and your friends are like-minded, you may not be wrong. A new study says friends tend to have similar brains. Researchers monitored groups of college students as they watched a series of videos. Friends tended to have similar brain responses as each other over people who they had no social ties.
Ahead at 6 tonight, the trial is underway for a man accused of attempted murder for shooting a friend in the face after asking him for a job.
Well, the wind is still up. It's starting to taper off a little bit. We have a partly cloudy sky and still cool out there. Grab a jacket if you're headed out. Another front on the way, the timing for that, and the weekend forecast coming up.
Last night, President Trump touched on the opioid crisis in this country. Here locally, leaders and law enforcement, they're working together pretty proactively, addressing the issue. News Channel 5's Tanya Rogers in our newsroom with the impact that's being made here. Tanya?
Well, Shannon, the task force was put together in 2016. More than a year later, leaders are sharing the force's impact. The task force includes several Palm Beach County police agencies and law enforcement from local, state, and federal agencies. Tanya Rogers, WPTV News Channel 5.
Today, the doctor fired from the Tampa Bay Rays over allegations of sexual assault fires back. Dr. Michael Riley claims he never abused the woman when she was a teen. Instead, he says he had a romance with her as an adult. St. Pete police are investigating.
The widow of the Pulse nightclub shooter, is back in court. Right now, attorneys are arguing whether the gunman's own words should be heard during her trial. Noor Salman's attorneys are asking a judge not to allow the jury to hear phone calls between the hostage negotiator and the shooter the night of the attack. A judge recently ruled that unreleased security camera footage from inside the nightclub can be used. Her trial begins in March.
I'm Michael Williams, back at the live desk. Hundreds of students were evacuated today after a bomb threat was called in to 2 Broward County schools. Police gave the all clear just after 4. Last week, bomb threats were called into 3 other schools in the county. Police are trying to get hot on the trail of the person or persons doing this. We don't know if there's a connection between all of them, but the investigation's ramping up. Shannon?
Michael, thank you. Emergency lines were down in counties across Central Florida and the Bay Area today. A massive Frontier network outage hit Tuesday night, lasted through most of the day. Problems occurred during some routine maintenance, apparently. 911 services are back up and running for most of those areas tonight.
Well, a Florida inmate facing child porn charges is now accused of plotting to kill the judge on his case. Police say the 56-year-old and his mother were using codes to relay messages over a jailhouse phone. Once cracked, investigators say they found he was trying to hire a hitman to kill the judge. He now faces even more charges, and his mother could, too.
That Texas man buried alive during a sand dune collapse. He has died. Police say Lee Goggin was digging a tunnel in the sand when it caved in on him Sunday. He was rushed to a local hospital, put into a medically induced coma. Apparently, the family was on the way to Disney World when they decided to stop at the beach in St. Augustine and let his three kids burn off some energy, as they say. He was digging in the area marked "Do Not Enter."
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
A successful launch for SpaceX today. The Falcon 9 blasted off from Cape Canaveral with a communications satellite for the government of Luxembourg. This mission cleared the way for the Falcon Heavy demo flight set for next week.
And it was a beautiful day for a launch, Steve Weigel.
Yes, it was. Can't wait for that next launch, too. That Falcon Heavy is a big, big rocket. Lots of sun Thursday and Friday, and not much in the way of wind. But the winds pick up again on Saturday in behind our next front, and we drop. So Saturday is the cooler day of the weekend. A little warmer on Sunday. A little higher chance for a shower, a little rain in the afternoon. Doesn't look like a washout, and then we continue to warm up on Monday, too. So kind of a split weekend. Like the cool stuff, Saturday's your day, Sunday for the warmer weather.
Let the Puppy Bowl begin.
Dozens of cute and cuddly athletes will hit the field Sunday for the Puppy Bowl. Defending champions Team Fluff will go nose-to-nose against rival Team Rough in the 14th annual game here. The teams consist of 90 puppies from 48 rescue centers all across the country, including this little guy right here, repping South Florida in the starting lineup. This is Carlo, an 8-month-old pug from Miami-Dade.
Carlo is described as energetic, fun-loving, the perfect player to bring gridiron glory back to the Sunshine State. How about that for a headline here?
Somebody's got to do it, right?
The puppies play on Animal Planet at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Let's see some more of these.
Check them out.
Look at these guys. Look at all of them. Oh, look at this one.
Oh.
Where are the Great Danes, though, Shannon?
So, I don't know if they have a Great Dane.
All right, there we
Look
go.
at those wrinkles. I'm kind of...
Fullback, we got wide receivers, we have defensive backs. Look at that cutie pie right there.
Oh, my goodness. Of course, and then we have the Super Bowl right here on WPTV News
That's
Channel
right.
5
You got
that
a
evening.
jam-packed lineup on Sunday, starting with the Puppy Bowl.
Good way to kick it off, right? If your iPhone starts getting low battery warnings in the mid-afternoon, you could take Apple up on its offer of a new battery, but there may be an easier way to stop that battery drain.
And a supermoon, a blue moon, and a total lunar eclipse all at the same time coming up at 6. A unique look at this rare phenomenon.